This is Joe the Box at the America First Warehouse.
Good morning. This is John the Blanket, the America First podcast at the America First Warehouse, the finest patriotic venue in all of the land.
And I'm Freddie Rubino.
Bubble wrap.
Freddie the Bubble Wrap here looking like the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes, he has a great posture today, as we all do, looking into the face of the camera. To you, the American people that trust and believe, big shout out to my friend Tom Homan. If anybody who don't recognize the name Tom Homan, you must be living on a different planet.
Under a rock.
Yeah,
By the border.
Tom Homan shouted out this morning to watch this show on Border 911 Foundation. Because, Johnny, we support Tom Homan and Border 911 for many, many reasons, right?
Well, I got to say, one of the greatest things that I got, he blew my mind. Before he got elected, we would run him into the Fox News once in a while. He'd call up Joe the Box and say, hey, Joe, give me a ride. And him and I would pick him up, take him in and out of the city to go do his shows. Quality time with the man, and little insight, like he's on the phone. I don't know who he was talking to, but we got to get into the Sunni. So he was already plotting and planning before the election when we spent a lot of time with him.
It almost makes me sad when I see people like Tom, because you look back and you say, all these years, we could have had someone like this protecting us.
He worked for every, like 5 presidents before Trump.
Yeah, but before that, we had the border czar. This cackling woman who doesn't know anything about the border. The border was open. Millions of people coming. Before that, before Biden, we had Barack Obama, who we never had people like this. This is one of the great things that Trump has done. He's brought the best of the best right up front to protect us and make this country great. So when I see a guy like Tom, I'm like, man, we should have had this guy 20 years.
Yeah, and the only people that are feeling bad about it are the ones that are on the other side of the border. Because we've had the first time in the history of the United States, I guess, not one person crossing the border. And he's standing there saying this is the way it should be every day. I couldn't be prouder than to be Tom Homan's friend and that he might know me by my name. Joe the Box. No, I'm only kidding. John the Blanket.
Hey, Johnny, man, it won't be the first time somebody mixed up our names. But I happen to agree with you, John. The times that we had, the opportunity we had got to meet Tom Homan and become his friend, and the way we did, because, yes, he is just like every man. He's a man's man. He served this country his whole life. He came from the, I think it's District 21, Lee Stefanik's town. We've gone up there for Tom to visit his family. He invited us to his house if we wanted to, but it was so busy. But believe me, he is such a real man. And he did know that he was coming back under Donald Trump. He did know, because Trump said, if I win, will you come back? And Tom said, yes, he would. So here we go. We got the big, beautiful bill that was passed, and now we got the money that Tom needs for the beds, for the illegal immigration. And just think about the numbers alone. With Joe Biden allowing 7,000 to 10,000 people per day across our border.
250,000 a month on average. Let me tell you something about Tom Homan.
Take it from here, Freddie.
I think we should ship them out as fast as they came in. What the heck are we doing?
Forget about what he's going to do. Let's talk about what he has done. The amount of human suffering. Forget about America. Let's talk about human beings. The amount of human suffering that he has stopped since he's been in charge. It's very simple. There's 250,000 people coming across the border every month. The majority of women, 15 to 60, cross. Did you know that? Were raping at record numbers. Half of the 250 were women. All right, 150,000 people. Let's say 20% of them, 50,000 women a month were being sexually assaulted, raped, some of them more than once or twice. He's ended that. He's ended the worst sexual abuse of women maybe the planet has ever seen. And no one's talking about it. No one's talking about how he saved immigrant women from this horrific abuse. And just for that alone, this guy should get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, that's incredible, Fred, and I happen to agree with you on that. Tom Holman and Border 911 Foundation, when it was established, is really getting the word out there. Yeah, so with 10,000, 15,000 people coming across a day down to zero is the difference of a president or a difference of a communist, socialist government that what we're competing against. These people want socialism. They want the people to come in here so they can live their high life. Do you really believe that Hillary Clinton was such a smart woman that her and her family should be worth hundreds and hundreds of $millions? Did she build a bridge? Did she build a building? No, she built relationships with foreign entities, and that's how they make their money.
Well, she did raise a lot of money for Haiti.
Yeah, they're doing great now, Haiti.
Well, they own the city of Michigan. One of the cities in Michigan is owned by them, and they're there's so much going on. But
they're doing great, Haiti, now, aren't they? With all that money,
they're not hungry anymore.
That half a sewer pipe that they put in is almost functional now. They're almost not drinking their own urine now. With $100 million. Maybe. I don't know what the number is. I know it's more than that.
No, that's what the Clintons got.
Yes, that's what they pocketed. And another thing about Tom Holman. Here's another thing. The media has suppressed this. How many children has suffered during the open borders? It's immeasurable. We know about hundreds, 300,000 children missing? Probably sex trafficked. If not, they're being abused in work-related things or almost like a slavery. But how many children died in the desert coming here because they thought the border was open? How many children drowned?
I don't think they can ever come up with that number,
They can't.
We don't know, but we do know that it's a much safer place now in our country. There's a lot of work to still be done. You got to worry about guys like Tom Holman that are being tagged and the left rhetoric to, fight with blood in the streets. And, that poor guy's got to worry about his family and, everyone that works for this ICE department. I can't believe that we don't put them up on the pedestal like the rest of our police department, knowing that our streets are safe because of their work.
We are, Johnny boy, and that's what we're doing here at the America First Warehouse and our media. We pound out a couple of 9 or 10 different programs, podcasts out of here, all pushing for and promoting the America First movement, the America First initiative. Tom Holman is out there doing this for us, and the big beautiful bill just raised a lot of money for him to be able to supply the beds, build out Alligator, Alcatraz, places like that, support that. But the thing that really gets me today, and you guys can talk about this, is that the left, the violent left, is attacking our ICE. They're taking our ICE guys. They're shooting at them. They're attacking them. What has gone wrong? They want to show their faces, but the Palestinians can run up and down Los Angeles with their faces covered.
And the amazing thing is that not one Democrat that they couldn't have logic to say, look, it's going to close the border and it's going to do all kinds of things to waste, fraud, and abuse. USAID closed down, and they're the ones that are crying because they're not getting that money anymore.
They've created a climate. The Democratic Party has created an environment in this country that makes it okay to abuse Jewish children going to school. They make it okay to attack ICE officers trying to rid the country of murderers and rapists. They have to be held accountable right then and there because they are inciting this. They are actually advertising apps on how to find ICE agents. They're trying to pass bills to have the ICE agents' faces not covered. Has anybody ever heard of undercover policing? It's very effective. So the Democratic Party is actively engaged in in like a soft insurrection in this country of trying to stop the deportation of the most violent, and even if they're not violent, they're bankrupting cities. They're taking money away from inner city children. They're taking resources away. The Democratic Party has created an environment that makes it attractive for the crazies to attack our law enforcement.
We got to protect our law enforcement. We got to protect our ICE. You know, they're all people just like us with families at home. You know, and these families are afraid every day that my dad goes to work, there's a chance he might not come back. And now they're putting a tag on their back, bro. I don't know about you, but I'm angry.
You attack an ICE agent, I got 2 words for you. Alligator, Alcatraz. That's where they should all go, and they should never leave.
There's some great things coming up at the warehouse we're going to be talking about. We want to personally thank Tom Holman, our friend. And if you get a chance, go to border911.com. The foundation is there. The word is coming out. The border's sealed. The immigrants are going. Thank you, Tom
Good job,
Holman.
Tommy. Good job, brother.
Thank you.
Who broke the television?
Can we laugh at that? Sounds a little mean.
As of this week, public gay sex will now be mandatory.
Am I the only one that could see his lips move? Cheekbones, baby.
Sorry, maybe I overreacted.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler, Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
Well, Hitler was duly elected.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that is Mussolini Hitler-like language.
You say Nazi enough times, someone's going to actually have the guts to do it.
Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler.
What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric?
Don't miss Trump next time.
What do you make of the excess deaths?
None of us, not the president, not those hypothetical guys in the smoky rooms fully know what's going on, but we can speak about the unfolding of recent history with certainty.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy.
That is not how it works. That is a threat to democracy.
No. No. You anti-Semitic piece of...
When you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? Vaccination.
We are back at the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic venue in all of the land.
The
I really
galaxy.
challenge anybody to try and debate that one. All right. Listen, we're into our second segment. We covered Tom Holman. We're going to still continue with some of that discussion as we go forward. But we're going to talk about peace. When a person in the world does everything they can to bring about peace, they get the Nobel Peace Prize. They get the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, we've watched our great president in his first term create peace, no wars, no nothing, and no recognition for that. However, yesterday, Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, came to have dinner with the president, and, you know, our great president opens up the dinner table for everybody. I was wondering what they were serving that time. Although Netanyahu had wrote a letter to the Peace Patrol, whoever they are, that Trump should get this for his efforts in the wars that he already did stop. Pakistan and India. You know, things that we don't, the rest of the world just lives aloof. But our great president is creating peace deals all over. With that being said, when Netanyahu come in here writing that beautiful letter in peace in the Middle East and the Abraham Accords, Freddie, what do you think they had for dinner?
Whitefish. And
Definitely something kosher, I imagine.
It was whitefish, and he complained about it, Netanyahu. So what's with the whitefish? It's stale. Is there a breeze in here? But that's the way Jews eat. You know, they're always complaining about something. But I believe the only way, this has been going on for thousands of years, all right? The Palestinians and Jews and their hatred for Jews. They created the Gaza Strip for them, let them govern themselves, put in all the schools and hospitals, and what did they do? They dedicated their lives to murdering Jews. This should have been done years and years and years ago. We're fooling ourselves when we think that you could talk peace with people who have dedicated their lives, dedicated their children's lives, blow up their children on school buses just to kill Jews. This is a demented, demonic a type of rhetoric and people that had to be destroyed. I remember the Olympics that time when they kidnapped the Israeli weightlifting team.
Way back in the 80s?
In the 80s. That's when it should have been done. That's when they should have said, enough is enough. We can't have this. They're evil. I think once this Gaza Strip is bulldozed and once they rebuild it and they adopt some kind of legislation that prevents them from being attacked from these people, the world will be a better place. Listen, there is a Palestinian state. It's called Lebanon. It's called Jordan. Jordan.
It's amazing when you watch the television and see the way these people live and how they've got everything that they own in a cart and they're going through a totally destroyed city. You know, where is the future in that? You know, maybe we should help them out and rebuild it. I know we already started Trump's golf course, didn't we? Already got the first 3 holes built?
That was in Iran, John.
That was Iran.
Well, we got to clean up
Par
Gaza and Iran, too, you know.
The first hole is par 400. You need 400 shots to get from Jerusalem to there. And, I just think that first you have to flex your muscle, show these people that we will not be preyed upon, and then after that, rebuild it. Send them wherever they want to go.
There's never been a better president in my life than Donald Trump. I love the man as much as I love my dad. You know, pretty close. They both had a lot of respect for them. But, you know, what do you think he thinks about? Oh, my God, let me get the Nobel Prize. Who'd they give it to last year? It was a lie anyway. There's no credibility. I wouldn't want that acknowledgement. You might as well have Joe Biden come in and put a thing on you. What did he give? Hillary Clinton and Soros' son a little recognition, too, for creating peace? And the biggest devils in the world, man. It's unbelievable. Let's forget about who gives a shit about the Nobel Peace Prize. Obviously, it's garbage.
It was on the table before the whitefish. I can't help it, Johnny. I didn't create the menu.
Are you going to eat that knish?
Makes me so angry. Who was the last recipient? Greta Thunberg, who got pulled over the other day by a boat because she wanted to do something in Gaza? And what are you doing here? It's a war zone.
They heralded Biden as being somebody who ushered in peace. The man single-handedly made it possible for the October 7th attacks. He made it possible for the invasion of the Ukraine. And then he funded the war in the Ukraine and then told Israel, hey, Don't answer. Don't retaliate. Let them attack you. This is the biggest disaster. If Biden would have won another 4 years, you would have seen bloodshed both at our borders and overseas like the world has probably never seen
No, I don't
before.
think so. I think we would have settled and said that's the way it is and listened to what Donald Trump would have said, like to go home peacefully, you know. But the fact of the matter, they stole everything. They steered us all wrong with their lies, you know, and then destroying all the evidence to prove it, destroying 33,000 emails. Oh, my God. How do we – okay, let's just forget it and go on to the next thing. I can't forget about it.
Well, here's the crazy thing about it, Johnny Boy and Freddie, that what they do after they lie and stuff, they always seem to blame everything on Trump. Now, I'm going to give you another example because I don't want to really – I mean, it's so sad what happened in Texas with the Texas flood, all right? The flood came in, many deaths caused by the overflow of the Guadalupe and La Llana rivers. 12 inches of rainfall doused the dry, flooding-prone region. And this camp was in there, and it took away the family. They blamed it on Donald Trump because of the Doge cuts. And what we found out is they all jumped on another lie. As a matter of fact, there were more people on call that night because of the concern about the floods. The flood happened at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody was asleep. I don't care who you are, unless you're at the bottom of a bottle of tequila at the campsite. Is anybody up that late at night? All right, so it came in. It was an act of God. But the way they spin this is really despicable to me, how they spin. And they spin everything on Donald Trump, don't they?
Now, I understand that they want it investigated. I understand that. Because it was a tragedy. Anytime there's a tragedy, there should be a full investigation to see how we could avert the next tragedy. I get that. But to blame it on Trump is as unhinged as it could possibly get.
Especially when all the safety protocols were in time, before time. They all knew what was happening over there. Why nothing was done on it, I don't know. But I can tell you, my heart goes out to every one of those families that are still looking or realizing that they don't have their child anymore. What a life that they're missing because of they're gone. What could we have done to prevent that? I ain't going that way, but let's at least not let it happen again.
The National Weather Service, right? They were depleted by maybe 10%. Let's have an investigation who that 10% were. Because I guarantee you, if you find out who the 10% were, they had nothing to do with any part of what would have saved one life in this tragedy.
Look, we're already all working from home. So that's the way the system's been set up since this COVID lie. Working at home. So we don't even know how productive they are. You know what I mean?
So my thing is that, you know, by the radar, you're the National Weather Service. You're not the local news guy who makes $15,000 a year. You are the National Weather Service. You have the most advanced radar systems. You know that the rain is coming maybe within the next hour. You know there's a massive storm.
Do we know if that was an area that flooded often?
Texas floods often. I think the most flash floods
it's the
happen in Texas.
Guadalupe River that starts from, I don't even know where it starts from. The storms came from, obviously, at the beginning of the river and it flowed down so fast that nobody even knew.
But you could see on the radar, before that storm gets maybe a half hour, an hour, I don't care what it was, you see a massive storm that's going to drop a lot of rain in a little bit of time. Who's in charge at the National Weather Service to say, hey, there's people along the riverbanks. I don't care if it's 3 in the morning. Sound the alarm, go there and warn them.
You know, just like they have to maintain the height of the river. So when that river goes up a few inches, the warning goes off, the siren goes up, everybody knows there's an increase in the river flow.
But it doesn't even have to get to that. If you see in the summer, you already know that people are camping by the riverside, and you see a massive storm coming in fast on your radar.
Look for high
No one alerts the local authorities and says, hey, go down to the river and make sure these people back off the river. That never happened. How is the 10% that you laid off? Was that their job? I don't think so.
You know, I know that those parents are going to be looking for somebody to blame. You know, we all want to have answers on it. You know, you can listen to the fake news and know that they're lying about it, but I think it was ample time. You know, who made the decision to ignore that? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, they were in an area, what I understand, that was very low, you know, not a lot of people, not a lot of cell service type of thing. So this is all part of the technology side of thing that Trump is doing. Trump is doing great things for this country. And, yeah, our prayers are there for the people of Texas. I think there was some discussion. I got a phone call about starting to try and collect some donations to send down to there, like we did in the Carolinas, where we got 6 trailer loads. We'll find out about that. There's nothing worse than what these people are going through right now, and there's nothing better than have a president that really cares in there the next day, talking about it, throwing resources at it. They are not alone. Texas, the rest of the country, America First, MAGA states, we love you. We're going to support you in every way that we can. 10 seconds left, Johnny boy.
God bless them. God bless everybody out there in Texas that's suffering. My heart goes out to you big time.
Yes, God bless Texas. We'll be right back.
I told you this was crazy. I'm out of here.
No dice. Free stuff for all.
I have to be such a downer.
For you, bow to the master staff. Come to me. Oh my God, this guy's from Jersey.
Hi, how you doing? Fuck off my stage.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve. Oh! Oh!
Wet on my side. Now instead of a poke, you're getting a smack.
What have I done?
My name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse. No, it's the America First Motor Club here in Ronkonkoma, 9013th Avenue. Sunday morning, we're opening up 9 a.m. Beautiful artwork from Nelson Medina. We just passed him over there. We're coming in Sunday at 9 a.m. hot. We're going to raise some money for our veterans. The event is free. You make some donations, buy a hamburger. There will be food, plenty of it. We love this country. Congratulations, President Trump. Congratulations to our country. One nation, under God, Sunday morning.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country. I can't get over that jingle. I walk around sometimes singing it all the time.
The America First Warehouse.
Yeah. We are back here at the America First podcast here. First one of 6 shows today, 3 more shows tomorrow. We want to give the truth to the American people. And I want to bring up one segment, and we're going to bring in a great friend of ours, a great friend of the show, Tommy Tatum from Tommy Tatum News. He'll be in 1 second with us at our new Studio C here at the America First Warehouse. But we're going to talk about the Epstein report. The Epstein report on July 7th, the FBI and the DOJ together released a report stating we concluded an exhaustive review investigative holdings related to Jeffrey Epstein. Would not release any other material except, in conclusion, the Epstein died by suicide. Epstein did not keep a list of clients as part of his sex trafficking activities. And there's no evidence that Epstein blackmailed individuals according to this memo. The problem with all of that is that all of this time leading up to it, we, the America First people, feel that there is a story there someplace. And as much as I love Kash Patel, much as I love Pam Bondi and everything that Trump is doing, there's something missing here. And with that, I'm bringing in Tommy Tatum from Studio C at the America First Warehouse. Tommy Tatum, are you with us? There he is.
Yes, sir.
Tom Tatum is a J6, J6er that was there at the feet of Roseanne Borland. And if you come back on his shot, I noticed that you have a book on your desk of Kash Patel's government gangsters.
Yes.
We love Kash Patel over here. Do you feel, you heard my opening with the Epstein files, do you feel this is very similar to what you've gone through, that they're not releasing the truth, they're not releasing the tapes, Tommy? What happened here?
Actually, I think there's, and I have no specific information to prove this, but I feel like there's more to play. There's more going on behind the scenes, and I only know what I know. I don't know what I don't know. But I keep coming back to when Kash Patel took the job. He said, "Listen, I'll take this job, but I have to be able to talk directly to the boss," and he's talking about Trump. And normally you have to go through Pam Bondi. So I don't know. There's something more to the story, like you're saying, Joe.
Well, there's no doubt that he had used his money and his influences, and he had many people back and forth on his island. Okay,
yeah.
Maybe he didn't keep a book of it, because if he had a book, people would be in jail immediately.
Well,
I think it's just like anything else, one of those things that make you go, why did Pam Bondi say that she has the list of all the Epstein's clients on her desk now? Because it took them a long time to find it.
Right, John? That's what I'm saying.
And why are they saying that they arrested 2 people for trafficking, but no victims?
Well, they said that there's no evidence that he blackmailed people, which means he could have blackmailed. Sometimes blackmail isn't on paper. Sometimes, you come to the island and you go, "Hey, look, we got video of you. You know what you did." And those people fall in line. It could just be, talking in someone's ear. However, I think this whole thing started with them saying there was a leaked memo that there's no list, that he killed himself, that against that. You know what? All these leaked things, the leaked thing that Trump was shaking down the Ukraine, never happened. The Steele dossier, never happened. All of this is leaked. People who are not mentioned. So I'm not believing it. If Trump's people did the investigation, if she said she had a list of clients, maybe it was a list of clients that they know from the log, but there's no official list of people that were, doing stuff there. So I'm not going along with a leaked memo.
Maybe they have some information on people that they've been holding against all the time and still would like to keep those people in line, or looking to get more information out of whoever is part of this, because obviously we know there's an issue. There's an island. There's Epstein Island. They had children on the island. They had people flew in and out over there, and things that went on like they did at Diddy's thing. And there's another freaking garbage thing that doesn't have any kind of indictments for whatever he was doing other than 1,000 cans of oil. I can't figure it out, but
Black
I can
market
only
baby oil.
think that they're probably holding people up because of that list and can't release it until when.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, personally, for me, I'm 100% MAGA or MAGA. I think that's one level up, MAGA. I'm so MAGA, and I love Cash. Like I said, I love Dan Bongino and Bam Bondi, everything that Trump is doing and the people that he have. But there's something missing in this story. And I'm going to tell you, as we continue to go down with it, sure, you want to shelf it for us. But here's the next thing coming. The same lies across the board they tried to tell us about our January 6th, Tommy, right? So isn't it so similar what they're trying to do here? Do you think that the J6 investigation I heard coming up is a real thing?
Yes, I am 1,000% on board. I feel like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were 1,000% in for January 6th truth and justice. And I feel like, that, in all seriousness, and I don't understand everything about how this world works, but I do feel like their previous work, their reputations, and their comments should be enough for our side to get behind them. And I know that they announced the formation of a new January 6th committee, and I feel like Trump had to, put down an insurrection across this country not too long ago with the No King stuff, and he had to fund the government. It's been 6 months, and I remember Trump saying he wanted a January 6th church committee shortly after he was elected. So I feel I'm 1,000% in, guys. I feel it in my bones that this is the time that we've been waiting for.
It's just hard for me because Freddie was just rattling off a list of the lies that they've done. They created. They really tried to prop up this premeditated insurrection that we have done as MAGA. And there's no proof of it. The proof is the Capitol Police killing Ashley Babbitt.
Mm-hmm.
The proof is the Capitol Police murdering Roseanne Boylan. The proof is the Washington, D.C. police or Capitol Police shooting rockets into the crowd and into the ceiling and smoking everybody out. That's the proof. The proof is Trump knocking down the L.A. riots and videotaping and bringing out, this is the money. People are dropping off masks and bricks and organized chaos. Zero organized chaos in January 6th.
Yes.
150% paid for, funded. Now they're in trouble because USAID is gone.
Amen, brother.
The red machine that they were funding their money through is gone. They're not getting it anymore. And we, the America First, millions of us at January 6th that day, are there to protest because we love the country. Nobody paid us. We paid our own way. Right, Tommy? How did you get there?
Listen, I paid $50 to my friend that I grew up with in Mississippi to go see Trump give one last speech. And I recently spoke to a new J6er that came forth with his story, and he was at the mouth of the tunnel. Actually, I spoke to two brand new J6ers. I've noticed that a lot of J6ers, they got out of jail or whatever, they gone home, they were in shock and trauma, they've gathered their wits, and now they're going through the information themselves, and phenomenal stories. And not just us J6ers, but we did represent the country, a large part of this country, obviously. And we had been saints. We had been saints. They stole our birthright from us. They were trying to. And we showed up in D.C. without weapons. To your point, it was nothing organized about it. We didn't even know we were walking to the Capitol until Trump said walk that direction patriotally and peacefully. And that's exactly what we did until the police fired. At 1:06 p.m., this is not to come out. Most of America doesn't realize this. At 1:06 p.m., the Capitol Police shot 7 human beings in the head with rubber bullets. And they still did not riot. We did not riot after till Metro PD shows up and throws hand grenades at our grandmas for 35 minutes. We did not riot. And if we had made that choice, if it had came down to that, which thank God it didn't, never want to see that, but we'd probably still be there. There's nothing stopping a million patriots from taking that building if we wanted to. But we wasn't there for that.
Wait a minute. I heard that there was a a Lego set planned.
Yeah, Lego man, I know him. This is how evil these prosecutors were, and this is why they deserve not only to be fired but prosecuted for wrongful. It's because that guy hadn't even taken that out of the box. It was still like in a corner somewhere. But they made it sound like he had it set up on the table and it was plotting a SEAL Team 6 type. I mean, it's ridiculous. And these prosecutors knew they were lying. They intentionally. I cannot think of anything.
Brother
more
Love,
evil.
they arrested Enrique Tarrio from the Proud Boys. He wasn't there, but they felt and they set it up like it was a planned deal.
Well, it's this will actually piss you off kind of bad. They arrested him because they said he did something to a BLM flag. But meanwhile, you can burn the American flag all day long in the capital city, and then you won't get 20 years in prison for it, I promise you.
It scares me because the way this lie about the Epstein, now we have nothing. They have no proof. They destroyed all the evidence for the January 6th. Are we going to be sitting and say we don't have any?
Well, I got some.
Go with.
I got some receipts that I got some receipts. But I'm ready to show the country. And once quite honestly, John, if they make us go and show it to the world, they're going to start owing us exponentially. The checks are going to go up because once I show American people what I have, they will not stomach it. They will not.
We can't go to sleep on this.
Yep.
Well, Tommy's not sleeping at all. He's one of the hardest working patriots we know. And Freddie, just give me a couple of minutes on your thoughts about the Epstein
15 seconds,
FBI.
you mean.
Let me just say that the big stars in the MAGA movement, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, doing a phenomenal job turning this country, turning the world around. I'm with them. And you come out and tell me that there's a leaked memo that says that they're in on a huge cover-up, and I don't believe it.
Not going
you
there, either.
show it to me. You prove it, because I've been through too many lies with this government, and I'm on the side of MAGA.
We'll be right back. We're all MAGA, Freddie.
Corrupt judges, broken families, families torn apart. This isn't justice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not So Newlywed Show, where 3 couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said.
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what. Donna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Jordan is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no.
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
Hi, my name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country. Here we are back at the America First Warehouse. Look at this set right here, you know? We're sitting, we can do anything we want. We could do the back.
Almost anything.
Yeah, we can do anything. Can you give me the shot to this beautiful piece of work on my right side, Adam? Look at this over here. Behind me is the great work of Scott LoBaido. Was here last week, did his State of the Union address. And what it depicts is 9/11. What Scott had done after 9/11 had happened. He had locked himself into his garage and he started writing and painting what he saw. And he saw the great Mayor Rudy Giuliani riding in downtown, organizing the police on one side, organizing the fire department on one side, and he created this beautiful piece of artwork. Scott LoBaido was a great patriot. He was here last week with us. Just one of the great things that happened at the America First Warehouse. Next week, we have Tommy Tatum in. Let's bring Tommy back up on the screen because I want Tommy to tell us a little bit about the J6 Roadhouse. J6 Roadhouse down in Texas right now. About, what I understand, almost 30 miles from where the flooding was. So they were very close.
Yes, that's Jenny Cutt's a J6er. She's a J6 Patriot, and she had started up kind of like I forget how many foot houses she had built there on her property, which is kind of like a really nice bed and breakfast in Texas. And it was originally, and it's still for January 6ers when they were getting out of jail. And now I believe she took in, I think, 25 to 30. If not the victims of the flood themselves, people there to help recover in the area. Big, huge patriots, and that's called J6 Road Home by Jenny Cudd. You can look this up on Facebook, and they could really use some contributions if you want to help those people in Texas. Well, she's given a lot of those people that are literally digging through the whatever they're having to go through to help people a place to sleep and eat. So she could probably use a little help too.
Hey, Tommy, that's a great idea. I gotten many phone calls because we filled up like 6 trailer loads for North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I think what we can do is we can put up the J6roadhome.com. We'll find their website. We'll put it up on ours, and they are supporting and housing many of the first responders and many of the people that are coming in from out of town to help and support the cleanup down in Texas. So, hey, I was asked, how can we help with the America First Warehouse? That's what we're going to do. We're going to direct our people to try and support the J6 Road Home. Now, they're coming in next week. Every Friday night, Real America Voice television show called Studio 6B is on every Friday night. And I think some of the Roadhouse people will be up next week earlier to participate in that show. Tommy Tatum, you will be sticking around.
Amen.
Your friend and our friend, M5 News, Gary McBride, will be coming in with them. It's going to be one of the greatest events. Very happy to have you for that.
Amen.
What's your expectation on that? Oh, and I also heard another couple of, there's so many J6 people are going to be coming.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I hear the Chinese Americans from New York and maybe even D.C., some of my friends I stood on the corner with at Freedom Corner for like a year, and they did it for 3 or 4 years with Mickey Whithoff, our friend, Joe. And I'm super excited. I get new J6ers every day. And we also, I don't want to say it publicly yet, but we're planning something that will absolutely, the America First Warehouse will be the genesis for something that we're all wanting to do. And I'll let you guys know more about that as I put a little more on the books as far as planning it.
I thank you so much for that, Tommy. So we have some other great things happening. Next week on the 12th, we have the Back to Police car show. And good friends of ours have brought in some 1970s, police cars. And if you were a guy like me and you saw that car coming down the road, you'd be a little scared, even though you wasn't doing anything wrong. You know what I'm saying, Freddie?
Yeah, you would wave to it because Johnny would be in the back seat. Hey, Johnny, dinner's at 5.
I like the way the cars look, because they only had one little red light that they would either put up or was always mounted, and that's what it was that would get the lights going and stuff. Now they got all kinds of crazy lights on it.
You're going to hear so much more about the car show coming up. We got every podcast going to be talking about it. Next week, we got Lou Talano coming in from New York City. Maybe we'll get Mayor Giuliani to zoom in over there because we love the police department and this car show. Oh, we have Ron's Auto Show coming in. He's got 60, 70 Porsches, Ferraris, these fancy cars, if you remember coming in. Maybe we can get the Trump car to come back up. The warehouse is going to be open. The hottest cars are coming inside. Between the warehouse and the motor club, the 12th, we'll have vendor. We'll have trucks outside serving food. We're going to do games. We're going to have a bouncy house for the kids. We love celebrating the America First movement with that car show on the 12th.
This is an event center. This is a place where you should constantly be checking what's going on, whether it's stopping in and having a Bible study because it's God and country here.
Thursday nights.
Or it's the Not So Newlywed Show that we're going to have.
Can you tell us about that, Freddie?
We're going to do it again in this September. If you are a couple that's married 20 years or more and expect to still be married in September, if you haven't filed the papers yet, contact the America First Warehouse or contact Fred Rubino, and you could be on the show. You could be a contestant on the next That's Not That Newlywed Show. But what I'm saying is this is an event center. If you are in Long Island, Queens, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, get on the train, see an event that you'd love to see, whether it's meeting Scott Lebedo, whether it's a book signing
Fred Rubino.
With Fred Rubino. I didn't write a book, but I've been booked. So, you know,
that 70s police car.
It's an event. It's a place for events that you could trust that your family would be in good hands, and it's a good message. It's a good vibe. It's got a good vibe.
You know, this is the kind of things that happen. And Johnny, you can talk about this a little bit. The Logical Conservative is a 50-foot mega mobile home out there in the warehouse that's parked out there this week. Did you run into those guys, Johnny?
Yeah, I caught them in over the weekend. They are blown away by our place over here, the America First Warehouse, the America First Motor Club. They're guests that, reminds me when we were younger, we would have one of our friends stay and he wouldn't leave for months. So I know the van's been out there. I haven't seen them. They're probably taking care of business, and we get to enjoy the view of that beautiful bus out there. You know?
The craziest thing, Johnny, and we experience this too, driving our America First trucks and vans around. We get this far 1%, the left, that are actually burning down buildings, that are actually throwing stones, that are actually spitting in police, that are actually causing the chaos. Just a small group of them. And these guys see it. If you go to logicalconservative.com and you look at some of the videos that they produce, Freddie, you would get a kick out of it. My friend Blake Montgomery and Mobile Home Mike, Blake has this camera on his glasses, so when people pull up to the side of the bus and they start losing their mind. I mean, in the bus, logicalconservative.com, next show we got to make sure we have a picture of this. Has Trump being shot, fight, has Kennedy being shot, has Martin Luther King being shot, has the Marines raising the flag at Hiroshima. The bus is magnificent, and it represents America.
Yeah, he was trying to ease pain on, the Trump derangement syndrome that everybody loses their head once they see that. And I got to say, they are the extreme. We fly our colors and we're nice and bright. I had to take the truck out to meet some guys out on a job. I got 4 or 5 honks with the thumbs up.
Put the bus on the screen. I think I see it in the control room.
Yeah, I didn't have
beautiful
buddy that was giving me the finger on it. It was a pleasant day, and we don't go out of our way. They like to go out of their way, and then just their minds are they're out of control.
Let me just say that the MAGA movement has it's like an octopus. It has many arms. If you're out there and you are a conservative organization and you want to have a function, this is the place to have it. Reach out. You could have a function here. If you're in another state and maybe you want to air what goes on here, maybe in your event center, in your Knights of Columbus, you could air the podcasts live in your conservative space, wherever you are in the world. So be a part of this. This is a part of the MAGA movement. If you're an artist, a conservative artist, you wrote a book, or if you just want to be part of the movement, reach out and be a part of America First Warehouse.
You know, and I know you can't probably believe this, Joe, but there are people that don't know the America First Warehouse. That, you know, like for me, I like to, you know, pass a shirt out. Somebody's good to me, I give him my T-shirt. My favorite coffee guy, I get my coffee every morning, even though I try to pay for it. But I gave him a shirt. It meant the world to him. So he said, Johnny, I was wearing a shirt the other day, and somebody saw it, and they said, I love that place. He said, I've never been there. He had a shirt, so at least, you know, you really got to come out and see this place to appreciate it. And once you come to one event, I'm sure we'll see a lot more.
Well, I will tell you, Johnny, there's so much out there. And the problem is that there's still fake out there. Our Facebook account, all right, I call it Facebook because that's exactly what it is, has the same 2,000 friends that I had for the last 8 years. So don't tell me that I'm not being suppressed or something's wrong with that.
100%. That's Facebook. Facebook has an algorithm that if you are pro-America, they will suppress you, and that's got to change too. It started with X, but the ripple effect hasn't gone fast enough for me. There should be, and that's why this is great.
Well, I think we got to move on to another kind of platform. That's what we got to do.
That's why America First is so important, because there are a lot of suppressed venues and social media, and this is not one of them.
We won't let it.
Yeah, we got a last minute left in here for this particular show. Right after us, you got That's What I'm Talking About with Fred Rubino. He's got some great guests coming on. He brings in other comedians, conservative comedians that are really struggling to get the word out and to be able to be funny without somebody heckling them in the crowd. And here's what's happening. It's out. The America First movement is stronger than ever. Come down to the America First Warehouse anytime. I'll give you a 75-cent door.
They made me laugh the other Friday night show, and they said, there goes Joe to box. Every day's Flag Day for Joe. I'm down to watch him wave the flag.
One quick shout-out, my friend Lee Zazzarelli. You are a big supporter of this show. We love and miss you so much. We thank you for the show notes. God bless America.
God bless Donald Trump.